I remember I finished my shower and I put my towel on, but I put it on pretty loosely. And then I ended up walking into my bedroom, and out of nowhere, I ended up seeing my maid. My maid looks at me out of shock and says, "Oh, wait, Bubba, is that you?" Oh my goodness. Because I got so scared to the point where I didn't even notice my towel dropped and she saw my eggplant. And what she said after was super sus. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to a super embarrassing but crazy story. Now, this story all takes place back when I was in high school, and this was my grade 10 year. And back in my grade 10 year, I remember me and my family, we lived in a giant house. I don't want to say it was a mansion, but I could easily say it was one of the bigger houses in my area. And I remember when me and my family first moved there, we knew that it was going to be really difficult to make sure everywhere was clean, especially knowing that my mom works full-time and my dad works full-time, and well, me and all my other siblings would always be at school, so we would never actually have time to actually clean the house other than late at night. So I remember one time at dinner, I ended up sitting with my family at our new place, and I remember when we all sat down, my dad looks at all of us and says, "Guys, I'm going to be honest, we all know that this is a bit too much for us, so I'm going to order a maid." When he said he was gonna get a maid for the house, I remember my mom started panicking, freaking out about what if, the maid was trying to steal something, or, the maid is super like weird and awkward. But me, I didn't really care. From all the cartoons I used to watch back when I was a kid, having a maid was kind of a flex. Like, who doesn't want to have someone just clean your house for you? So I remember I was totally okay with the idea, and so were my siblings. It was only my mom that was a little suspicious, but hey, at the same time, what are mothers for? And well, one thing led to another. I remember we ended up getting a maid literally that weekend. I remember that weekend came around, and basically on Friday, I ended up walking home from school. And right as I got to my driveway, I saw there was a vehicle there that I've never seen in my life. And when I looked around it, I saw there was like cleaning supplies in the back, so automatically I just assumed, oh, it's probably the maid. I ended up going to the front door, and I ended up seeing a lady waiting there, just standing in like all white clothing, and she looked really young. Like, she was young enough to look like she was still in high school. And I looked at her and said, "Oh, are you trying to get inside?" "Oh, yeah, do you live here? I'm supposed to like start cleaning, but no one's answered the door." "Oh yeah, sorry, no one really hears the door because the house is actually pretty big. I can open it though." I ended up opening the door for her, and I ended up basically introducing myself. She ended up giggling and laughing, and for some reason she thought we were like super rich people, which in reality we really weren't. We were just lucky to have a big house. When I was explaining all that though, my mom ended up coming up to me and saying, "Oh, Bubba, is this the maid?" Yeah, maid, or whatever your name is, meet my mom." And from there, my mom and the maid were having a conversation. But I remember as I was walking away, the maid just kept staring at me as if she really wanted something from me. I didn't know what, but when I looked back, her eyes were always directly on me. And even my mom figured that out. I remember when I went into my room, I ended up just hopping on my Xbox and started playing video games. And I want to say like 10 minutes later, my mom ended up actually knocking on my door. She knocked on my door and said, "Bubba, can I come in?" Yeah, Mom, what's up?" "Oh, Bubba, I saw the maid was looking at you. Did you guys say anything?" "No, she was just, talking about her work. That's basically it. Why?" "Bubba, I don't want you to do anything weird, okay? Be a good boy, please." I remember I ended up telling my mom I'll be fine and how I'm not going to do anything crazy. Like, don't worry about me. But this wouldn't be a story if I didn't. Let's just say things didn't turn out the way she wanted. Because I remember a couple days goes by, and one thing I started to realize was that my maid would always end up coming into my room when I was in there. If I wasn't in my room, she would not even dare to come into the room. So in my mind, I was thinking, oh, maybe she does that because she knows she needs to gain the trust of us and that she's not a thief, so she does it when we're around. But every time I talk to any of my siblings or my parents, they always told me, "Oh, I never see the maid, to be honest with you, Bubba. I always forget she's here sometimes." And that started to kind of worry me, because why would I always end up seeing the maid but no one else in the house would? It kind of got me thinking, but at the same time, I didn't want to think too much about it. So I remember the next time my maid came into my room, I ended up basically standing up and leaving the room. But right as I was about to leave, she looks at me and says, "Oh, why are you leaving?" "Oh, I was just gonna go get some food downstairs." "Oh, do you want me to make you something?" "You can do that?" I mean, I'm not really supposed to, but I know your kitchen pretty well now, and honestly, I'll do it for you if you want." Knowing that she wanted to cook for me, honestly, was really hot. I'm not gonna lie. And to be fair, this maid was attractive. So knowing that the way to my heart is through my stomach, I ended up telling her, yeah, sure, we can go make something if you want." So me and her, we ended up going downstairs, and she ended up making me a basic grilled cheese. Except the way she made grilled cheese was way better than I did. Because back when I was in high school, I would literally just get bread, put cheese in between it, and basically put it into the microwave to melt. But this maid did it the proper way, where she would put on a pan, pan, put butter on it, and all that good stuff. So I remember when she handed me the grilled cheese, I felt like a king. It felt so good to eat that grilled cheese. You guys have no idea. And I remember in the middle of eating, I remember she decided to sit down across from me and she asked me a question that I was pretty surprised of, because she looks at me as I'm eating and says, "So Bubba, I was just curious, do you have like a girlfriend?" Oh no, to be honest, I've been focused at school and stuff, and I don't know, I'm not really like trying to look for a girlfriend, I guess. Okay, that's very interesting. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when she said that, she was smiling as if she just figured out she won the lottery. It really made no sense to me why she was super happy about that, but honestly, the only reason why I said I wasn't looking was because, to be honest, with all the girls I meet up with nowadays, I would just do the devil's tango with them. I wouldn't actually look for a relationship. But I guess she took it the wrong way, as if I wasn't looking at all and that I was basically keeping myself pure for my wife, or apparently, or something like that. Which, for all the people that watch this channel, you guys know that is far from true. Anyways, going on from there, I remember I went upstairs and I went back into my room and started playing video games again, and at the same time doing my homework. And I remember midway through, my mom ended up coming into my room with my dad at the same time right behind her, saying, "Me and your mother are leaving the house. We're going to be leaving you alone at home, so just keep yourself safe, okay?" Okay, yeah, I don't mind being home alone. And that's when they went downstairs and they ended up leaving. I remember I heard the door close, and that's when I decided to basically go and take a shower, because I thought, hey, you know, no one's home. I might as well just go take a shower. Who cares? So I remember I ended up taking off all my clothes in my bedroom, and I basically ended up walking absolutely with nothing on, by the way, towards the bathroom. When I got into the bathroom, I did what I had to do. I took a shower. I just relaxed. I just did my thing and kept myself clean, because, you know, every person needs good hygiene. Back when I was in high school, I would shower basically every day. Actually, still to this day, I shower every single day. And right as my shower was over, I ended up basically putting on my towel and walking down the hallway back to my bedroom. But once I walked into my bedroom, out of nowhere, I ended up seeing my maid in the room, which I thought she wasn't even in the house in the first place, and I freaked out because I said, "Oh, hey, I didn't know you were here." And right as she turns around, she starts to basically freak out at me because she saw me shirtless. And then that's when I ended up dropping my towel, and well, yeah, my whole eggplant was out. And the reaction from my maid was the most awkward thing ever, because I remember she looks at me and looks down at my eggplant and says, "Oh wow, it's actually bigger than I thought." Wait, what is what I said? And that's when she gets closer to me, and well, me and her, we started making out, and I think you guys know what happens next, but we ended up doing the devil's tango. I guess from her seeing my eggplant and seeing how big it was, she automatically just wanted it that bad. And I remember even after us doing the devil's tango, as we were laying in my bed, she turns over to me and says, "Bubba, I'm not gonna lie, like, I've always had an eye for you. Like, you're so perfect." Yeah, thanks. Yeah, like, so I was just wondering, like, what are your plans for the future? Oh, what do you mean plans? I mean, like, what are you studying in university? University? Well, I mean, nothing yet, because I'm still in high school. Wait, what? At that moment, I remember she gets up and she puts on the towel that I left on the floor that I dropped earlier. And she's like, "What do you mean you're in high school? Like, are you serious right now?" Yeah. Why? Is that a bad thing? And I remember she starts panicking. She starts freaking out. She's begging me not to say anything to my parents. And I told her I'm not going to say a word. And I told her I promise to never speak of this moment ever in my life. Until today, when I tell you guys the story. But if you guys watched it all the way through, then follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.